This is every secret on the Lost Isles Island. And if you knew all of these and can actually tell me a secret down in the comments, I'll give you a cookie, because a lot of these are unknown to anybody in the game. And just like this one, let's start off with one hot. If you put coconut, banana, or pineapple into garden plots, did you know that they'll actually grow coconut trees, banana trees, and pineapple trees? Now let's test how up to date you guys are. Yesterday, Epic put out two announcements. One of them is telling us that the prefabs that were coming with this update are officially in our world, and the second one is that rune essence rerolls were reduced from 50 down to 20, and the limit for holding essence was raised from 500 to 1,000. Now the essence does show up as a UI glitch, as it'll only tell you that you can hold 500 inside of your inventory. However, it has been raised up to 1,000. So if you try to collect more, you can keep picking them up and hold that total. Now when it comes to the reroll, that button should now have changed in the game. Instead of showing 50, it officially shows 20. Now the crusher is absolutely awesome because you can drive this, turn this, and swivel around that cannon wherever you want, and even while you're driving it, you can shoot it. Now for myself, I shot this by accident, not realizing what button it was, and I almost destroyed my kitchen area. Now people made the airplane before the update came out, and I tried to use the prefab, but for whatever reason, it was bugged a little bit, and the balloons actually never lifted me off. So I'm not entirely sure what happened with this. I'm sure that it works fine, but a lot of people are saying that they're running into the same issue, so it's cool they gave it to us, but I'm not really sure I'll ever use it. Now I just found out about this yesterday myself, but we have fast travel added into caves now. So obviously we got rift stations a few updates ago, but now we have these whirlpools when you enter into caves that you can enter into and go from the front of the cave to the back of the cave extremely quick, which is very useful if you were to put bases in here, or if you just wanted to get to the end loot area a little bit faster. Now I'm sure that you guys have noticed this when you spawned into your worlds, but inside of your codex, when you scroll down to the Lost Isles area, you can see there is now 25 brand new villagers. So they gave us 25 new players that will come up to your village throughout the day that you can keep at your village whenever you would like. Along with getting 25 new villagers, they also gave us 15 more to add to our village. So if you go into your residence area, you should be able to see that you can now hold a total of 45 villagers on your world. Now, I wasn't able to discover this myself, but I have seen some tweets and videos of people finding treasure maps on their world. So if you throw this into your offhand, you're going to be able to find treasure somewhere by using a shovel. Now I'm not entirely sure how you get this, but I believe it's done by opening up random chests around your world and defeating different enemies. Speaking of opening up these random chests, inside of your worlds at the top of these floating islands, you'll find these gold chests. And when you open them, you should be getting a rune tome book, or you get a prop tome book. When you open these up, you'll actually unlock one of the rune essence areas, or you'll unlock a brand new prop in the game. Neither of these were mentioned inside of the update, but if you guys have cleared your notifications, when you open up one of the prop books, you'll see that you unlocked a brand new prop in your inventory. Now, a really cool feature is when you guys have butter cake, which is something I'm sure a lot of you have made a ton of, if you drop it in front of the Lego version of Klombo, after he uses his vacuum feature, you'll actually notice that he begins to dance, which is very cute to see out of this Klombo, and just a nice little Easter egg to have in there for all of us that made a ton of butter cake. Now speaking of Klombo, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but by giving him butter cake and clomberries along with various other food items, you could actually earn yourself a ton of essence and random brand new items that are in the game. So if you don't really like to run around farming trees and different ores or rocks, you can just feed the BR version of Klombo at one of his specific lake locations, and he'll give you all of the brand new materials in exchange for some food. Now, there's also going to be a Klombo Den. This is located at one of the 3 locations for that new Klombo Lake area. You can see that I have found all 3 of them. At 2 of them, you're going to have the Battle Royale version of Klombo that you can feed different items and get items back in return. Whereas the Den is just this absolutely beautiful inside of a cave where you could actually find a sleeping version of Klombo here that doesn't really do much, but really just shows shows off how great this game can look with the right scenery. And after this update, this world looks absolutely amazing. Now, Rift Shrines are something new added into this game as well, because something that you'll notice is that when you walk up to certain caves on the map, they're actually going to be blocked off by these unbearable rocks. You can't break them, you can't swing at them with pickaxes or axe, but if you do use one of these rift shards nearby and have the ingredients to use it, you could actually walk up to this area, and what you'll find in return is going to be the Beast Den, which is going to have one of the new Golem bosses in it. Now, speaking of these Golem bosses, you actually will be able to find the Storm Surged version of these around the map as well, which makes them even more difficult than the regular version, which do more damage and have even more health. But if we're being honest, they're not too difficult, because any shield in the game, as long as you're holding it up, these creatures will miss every single hit on you, making it so you never take any damage. Now, something a bit interesting about the throwing spear is if you throw this at the enemy and you hit a headshot, it'll actually do critical damage, which is really cool to know. But the bonus to this that isn't told to you is that if you don't throw it, which means you don't hold in the button to attack and you just do very quick attacks, you could actually use this as a melee style weapon as well. So the spear is almost like holding a different sword in the game as well. Now, you guys just were able to see some of that toxic gas, and if you guys did not know, we actually have spawners on our map now that have scorpions, or you get crabs out of them. The awesome thing about this is that not only can you create a gigantic farm for those gas or those stink glands, but you could also cause this giant farm for more essence. I've talked about this in another video before, but what you can see is if there's meat around the map, these enemies or these scorpions will just walk up to the meat and continue to explode and kill each other. Now, you can kill some of the new golems to earn yourself some rift shards on the map, but the other thing that recently happened was any of the rift stations that you previously have broken down should have respawned on the map. Or talking to Jonesy will actually tell you exactly where new ones are that you did not find. So what I did just now was I found an old rift station that I've already had. I entered into it, and then while it was counting down, I broke it to get myself even more rift shards. Now, unlike our old worlds, we actually have the brand new Peely Village areas built on our map with absolutely no damage to them, which means if you guys did not buy the full Lego pass, that's really not a problem, because you can just go and live in one of these already well-designed areas on the map. Now, a secret to me is anything that was not mentioned inside of the patch notes, but I'm sure that you guys already know that there are brand new animal variants all over the map. Now, although they don't serve much of a purpose here when it comes to these animals, they do at least have a different appearance to them, which is better than the old stuff if we're just being honest. Now, mahogany is something that is brand new in this game as well, not mentioned in the patch notes, but these can be found just as darker versions of regular wood. When you take a look at these trees, not only do they have a different top on them, but they also have darker branches, which is easy to know that that's going to give you mahogany. Now, red rock was also not mentioned in the patch notes, but you can see a regular rock looks like this, and a red rock is the same thing, except it's red, so really easy to spot. Now, when it comes to finding emerald, this is another thing that is very easy to spot, because again, this is inside of pretty much any cave in the game, but also is bright green, so very easy to notice when you guys are there. Emerald is important as it is going to serve purpose in future updates, but also is very important to upgrade your village up to level 10. Now, gold is also very important to have, because it may not have already been put into the game, but if you look at the description of gold bars, it tells you that gold is going to be used on future charms that get added into Lego Fortnite. And the last secret that I have for you guys is that the Flintlock pistol works exactly like what it did in Battle Royale, so it makes for a much more fun way to travel around the map by bringing one of these with you and then shooting it at the ground to shoot you and push you into another direction with your glider. But YouTube thinks that you're gonna like that video that's up there in the top left, and you may also want to hit that subscribe button in the top right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.